Hey guys, I'm here. Welcome back for episode 6 of The Last of Us. Last week's episode was, it was intense to say the least. A lot of iconic moments from the game, a tragic end for both Henry and Sam, a poetic end, ironic end for Kathleen, and just a very somber way to end the episode. And I'm very curious to see where we go from here. I have a rough idea, but we'll just have to wait and see. So we're going to go ahead and hop in. If you want to see the full-length reaction, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, it gives you access as well. It is a watch-along format, so you'll need your own footage to sync up with the time code, same reaction the entire episode. You get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover here on the channel. You also get to suggest and vote on what movies we react to each month. Our poll is up currently right now, so go vote if you haven't already. We got monthly Q&As, behind-the-scenes footage, trying to make it worth your while, so sure go to support the channel. And guys, if you enjoyed this reaction, either way, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. It really does help us out, and I would really appreciate it. With that all said and down the way, guys, let's go ahead and hop into episode 6. Here we go.
Who the hell are you?
Just someone passing through.
Why did you shoot him?
The gun's all the way over there. He didn't hurt me, by the way.
Yeah, I got eyes. You made him soup?
Yeah, I did. Got a girl with him.
Can I come down?
No.
Oh, wow.
I need you to tell us where we are.
You got a map while you lost.
Must have missed all the street signs in the enormous fucking forest.
Holy.
We're somewhere here. Exactly where? And your answer better be the same as your wife's.
You telling the truth?
Yeah,
Are you telling me the truth?
yeah.
I love her, man. She's just like being real.
So you haven't heard the name Tommy?
Nope.
What about the Fireflies?
We get those in the summer.
Not the bugs, the people.
There are firefly people?
You got any advice on the best way west?
Yeah.
West.
Go east.
Oh.
Joel?
Oh,
Joel?
what in the...
Holy shit, are you dying?
He's having a panic attack. Man, it's beautiful.
Should have stolen 2 rabbits.
We can get our own rabbits.
You gonna teach me how?
Just keep moving.
Let's say we find the Fireflies, it all works, you can do anything you want. Where are you going? What do you do?
Maybe an old farmhouse, some land, a ranch.
Cool. What kind?
Sheep. I would raise sheep. They're quiet. Do what they're told.
Are they? Do they?
And what about you? Where are you gonna go?
To the moon.
I read everything I could in the school library. Like Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Jim Lovell. But you know who my favorite is?
Sally Ride.
Sally fucking Ride. Best astronaut name ever.
True.
Marlene, she's a lot of things, but she's no fool. If she says they can do it, they can do it.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna take first watch or second.
I'll do both. Get some sleep. Dream of sheep ranches on the moon.
Oh,
Stop falling asleep, Joel. This is why you actually trade shifts. He's gonna wake up though, and she's actually keeping watch. Yep.
I woke up early. We were passed out, so I took second watch.
You gotta wake me up if that happens. You can't do things like this.
But I can.
I mean, he needs sleep.
I checked my sticks, I looked for tracks, I found the high ground, and I kept watch. Like you taught me to. What can I say? I'm not how to whistle.
You don't know how to whistle?
Does it sound like I know how to whistle?
No.
I can't do it that way. I mean, I can just... But I can't do like that.
Damn. But who So that made electricity?
Yeah. Don't ask me, I don't have a clue.
Cut the conversation off right there.
you're infected?
There's no infected out here.
The hell there ain't. Last chance for a bullet. If you're infected, he will smell it. Now her.
We know the scanner does, but what about dogs? No! Uh-oh, 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 Joel. Okay. See, okay, thank God. I was gonna say, like, the scanner, like, does some special shit, but the dog, like, would sense threat, I would assume. Okay.
What are you doing out here?
Just looking for my brother.
What's your name?
Joel.
Oh, wow, man. It looks just like it.
Thank you, ma'am. It's been a while since we've had a proper meal.
Actually, I don't think I've ever had a proper meal. This is fucking amazing.
Sorry. Ellie, let's mind our manners. What's wrong with you?
What about her manners?
She was just curious. Kids around here don't usually look or talk like you.
Right. Well, maybe I'll teach them.
I wonder who that was.
But it'd be nice to have a moment here, maybe just for family.
About that.
Maria is family, actually.
Congrats. Joel, say congrats.
Mind your manners, Joel.
I still got my 700, but I found a variable power scope. Sub-MOA. And headshot those fuckers from a half mile out.
Can you teach me how?
No, we can't.
Sniper Tommy, man.
How do you keep this place quiet?
Carefully. Being in the middle of nowhere helps. Not advertising what we have, saying off the radio.
Joel's a little salty.
You draw power from a dam.
Got that working a couple of years ago. After that, sewage, plumbing, water heaters, lights.
We're skipping the dam segment.
Everything you see in our town, greenhouses, livestock, all shared. Collective ownership.
So, communism.
Nah, it ain't like that.
It is that, literally. This is a commune. We're communists. No way.
All right, Internet. Can't wait to see Twitter tonight. Fuck.
You want a petter?
It is severely fucked up between here and there. Not exactly an easy trip.
It'll be easy for us, seeing as how you can headshot infected from half a mile away, which is a bunch of bullshit, by the way.
Yeah, I can't go.
Because your wife won't let you?
No.
She the one who kept you off the radio? Is that why you stopped messaging me back?
After I ditched the Fireflies, Marie and her crew found me.
If you knew the shit that I've been through, Tommy, trying to find you these last few months.
I'm gonna be a father. Maria's a few months along now. So I just gotta be more careful.
I feel like I'd be a good dad. Guess we'll find out.
I guess we'll find out. That's all you got?
What else am I supposed to say?
Just because life stopped for you doesn't mean it has to stop for me.
Go grab some supplies and be out of your hair in the morning.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry about your kids.
It's okay. And kid, just Keivonn. Sarah was Joel's daughter.
she saved my life there from another kid. 5 years ago, I would have destroyed him. But she had to shoot him to save me. 14 years old. Because I was too slow and too fucking deaf to hear him coming. Today, I thought that dog was gonna tear her apart because it smelled something on her. And all I did was stand there. I couldn't move. I couldn't think of anything to say. I was so afraid. There are these moments where the fear comes up out of nowhere and my heart, it feels like it stopped.
He's actually opened up again, and he doesn't know how to deal with it.
It's all I've ever done. It's failure. Again and again. You want me to take her? I'm just gonna get her killed. I know it. I know it, Joel. I mean, it's why you took off on me, right? To make up for the things we did. Well, here's your chance to bring your kid into a better world. You're the only one I trust. If anyone else sees those bites on her, what's under her skin, they'll shoot her. It's the last thing I'll ever ask of you. I swear. I made this decision for your own good. You'll be way better off with Tommy. He knows the area better than I do.
Do you give a shit about me or not?
Of course I do.
Then what are you so afraid of? I'm not her, you know. Maria told me about Sarah, and
No.
I'm sorry about your daughter, Joel. But I've lost people too.
You have no idea what loss is.
Everybody I have cared for has either died or left me. Everybody fucking except for you. So don't tell me that I'd be safe with somebody else, because the truth is, I would just be more scared.
You're right. You're not my daughter. And I sure as hell ain't your dad. Now come dawn, we're going our separate ways.
Okay, I was like, we're not ending here, right? He's such a weird place to end.
You came here to say goodbye or something?
No. I came here to steal one of these horses and go. I would have gave you one. I know. Anyway, you deserve a choice. I still think you'd be better off with Tommy.
Let's go.
Okay.
Wow, that's a big change, but I think it works for the way they're parsing out their relationship in this one, this iteration. That puts it a lot on Joel's back. I love it. I kind of like that. We could use an extra hand, but you can still come if you want. Is he teaching her to shoot?
You're flinching.
The target's too small.
I made it bigger than I should have. Eject the cartridge. And squeeze the trigger like you love it. Gentle, steady, nice and slow.
You're gonna shoot this thing or get it pregnant? It isn't gonna work. It doesn't aim right. You dick. So the way they ran stuff in Jackson, was that how things used to be?
No. Back then, there were basically two main ways of looking at things. Some people wanted to own everything, and some people didn't want anyone to own anything at all.
Which one were you?
Neither. I just did my job.
Which was building?
That's right.
No, they're getting to know each other.
We were called contractors.
That's pretty cool.
No.
Yeah, we were cool. Everybody loved contractors.
This is so fucking cute, dude.
Okay, so if you mess up your fourth down and you give the ball to the other team?
Right. It's called a turnover.
Dude.
How about that? Made it in 5 days.
Easy days. I don't know what Tommy was so afraid of.
Still time to find out.
Still time to find out.
Oh, with the big horns. What does that mean?
Team mascot. It's kind of sheep.
Are we gonna do this all in this episode?
People would live here and, like, what, go to classes and stuff?
Yup.
Even though they were adults.
Sort of adults.
Sort of adults.
Figuring out what they wanted to do with their lives.
What they wanted to do with their lives.
Well,
So I've been thinking. I don't want a sheep ranch, actually. I mean, if the deal is I can do anything.
That's the deal.
Well,
he wants to be a country singer. Oh,
why is that funny?
We gotta sing something now.
No,
Come on now, I'm not gonna laugh.
you're already laughing.
Okay, true. Well, you're singing for me later. I'm gonna save the fucking world, man. It's the least you can do for me.
Fair enough.
Are those monkeys?
Must be from the old labs.
Look at them go.
Seen
yo.
a monkey? There's a packing list. Something you make before moving.
They just left.
Salt Lake City.
Maybe not all of them.
Oh, they're all converging on Salt Lake.
Maybe getting ahead of the weather. Better facilities. I don't know. Out the back.
Oh.
Joe, give him the horse. Give him the horse. They're not following us. I think we're safe. Joe? Joe? Joe, no, no, no! Shit!
I can't fucking do this without you.
I don't know where the fuck I'm going. What the fuck I'm gonna do? Joe!
Damn, dude. That episode was insanely good. I mean, they all have been. I like the way they've just kind of truncated the story. I mean, I've said this, I mean, it's like I'm freaking repeating myself half the time. The way they've weaved these elements and these changes to kind of make it flow a little more naturally while building, like, because you're dancing around all these segments where you're in control. There's idle dialogue from Ellie, which they have incorporated in here during some of their traveling segments, some of their camping segments, some of the stuff going through the town, through Jackson. You know, there's these things that happen when you're going from point A to point B that they're kind of parsing out in these different ways and kind of switching things up. And I like a lot of it because it tells the story in a different way. This is a different medium than the game itself. And the way that they've kind of shifted a lot of those elements around, I feel like it, at least for like a viewing experience, makes it more engaging and more emotional. Like the way they kind of parse this stuff out. Like Joel is opening up so much in this and he doesn't really know how to handle it. The dynamic between him and Tommy and the complications in their relationship and, you know, why they were distanced in this was really fascinating. There's a couple of things that they kind of expanded upon and changed and tweaked a little bit. You know, there's a couple of segments we completely bypassed in this, a couple set pieces to kind of keep the story going, which I like. There's some setups in here that will come into play later, I'm sure. I'm trying to not allude to too much for anybody that hasn't played both games or anything like that, but I really like what they did in here. And I love the elements of Joel and his vulnerability and his lack of actually dealing with his issues and how that is now surfacing now that the door's been cracked, now that he's gonna develop this kind of protectorship over Ellie, and how that's just kind of cracking the door to these emotions he's closed off for so long. And I think that's why he's starting to have these attacks, because he is getting attached to her. He is starting to kind of connect with her on that level. We've seen it many times up until this point in these subtle ways. Some subtle, some not so subtle. And he's now fearful because he's falling asleep. She had to shoot that one guy because he couldn't hear. They got jumped by Henry and Sam because he couldn't hear. He's like, what if I screw this up again? It's heartbreaking. But it deepens that connection between the two. And then once he kind of gives that choice to Ellie, which is a deviation that I kind of like, because it emphasizes the growth of Joel throughout this whole thing. You know, he second guesses himself in the end. Ellie kind of forces that choice upon him in the game. But in this, it's something that he has actively become a participant in. So this, again, it's another change that kind of keeps somebody who's played the games on their toes, because it subverts our expectations. Some of the things that we figure were going to happen but have not. Dude, Diego Luna is phenomenal as Tommy. He's just so spot on in this portrayal and just in these subtle emotions under the surface. Both of them are. The vulnerability that Pedro lets out in this performance is just beautiful. I absolutely adore it. And again, more and more and more, Bella Ramsey just continues to prove to me just how good a choice she's been for Ellie in the end. And I'm curious to see how they kind of adapt the last little bits of this. We've got 3 more episodes. I don't know, man. I just feel like with the way they've adapted this into another medium like this, it's so expertly done. And I watched Philip Molina's breakdown over on FilmWise on the kind of storytelling philosophy behind this, and it just goes to show just how expertly the scripting and the characterization of Joel specifically is being handled in the show, because a lot of those themes from their little thesis statement that they covered in that video is echoed a lot in this episode especially. I can't wait to listen to the podcast for this episode and see what they have to say, because there are some interesting choices, and I have my thoughts, my feelings on why some of those changes occurred. And I'm curious to see how they chime in on it, particularly the Joel Tommy scenes and the arrangement that they come around to regarding Ellie, as well as the conclusion to Joel deciding to be the one to leave with Ellie in the end, despite the conversations that were had earlier and how that kind of weighed on him and his soul, and why they changed it to the way they did. Because the same things kind of play out in a very different manner, but Ellie does obviously overhear the conversation, much like she did here. And then, spoilers for the game, maybe skip ahead just 30 seconds because this isn't a long one, but she, in the game, when she hears that, she steals a horse and just runs off on her own, forcing Tommy and Joel to go running and chasing after her. And it's during that chase and that fear that she's out there on her own by herself that Joel realizes that he cares too much, and he won't really be at rest if he's not there certain that she actually makes it. So he ends up saying, well, sorry, Tommy, looks like we're keeping these horses, and they go off on their own, they leave. It's a beautiful scene. I like both versions in their own respects, but I do like this iteration. I can't say now thinking about it which one I like better, because I do like that this one puts the earnestness on Joel. The other one like accentuates it in a different way. They both get the kind of same feeling out at the end, but I don't know. They both kind of work in a way. I think they did that just obviously because it's a whole like segment to kind of truncate things because they need to kind of get the story going. The landscape shots in this were gorgeous. It just like a lot of the scenery and like a lot of the things in this show so far is just like, man, I just want to get out and see more of the country because it's just a lot of it's so beautiful. I mean, there's a lot where I live to take in aesthetically, but like there's certain things you can't get in certain necks of the country, man. And so those rocky mountains, the snow caps and the plains and the cityscapes, man, even, it's just gorgeous. Show's beautiful. Guys, what do you think of this week's episode? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings on the changes? What are your thoughts on the revelations revealed in this episode? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed this reaction. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys next week. But before you go, remember, if you want to see the full-length reaction, you check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, gets you access as well. And speaking of before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny Sherritt, Ryan, Karen, Jason Coleman, Philly Vane, Yori, Corey Scott, Barker Grace, Melita, Robert Anguiano, Raven McGann, Jeffrey Hale, M. Sephiroth, Jake Contrell, Amy Becca, Josh Lee, and Aaron Myers. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. That's it for this one, guys. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.